All right. Okay, number 1. Let's watch a liar.
Or at least contact someone that's out there that knows anything, to contact the police or Crime Stoppers. Her son needs her. He needs his mum. Sorry.
Fake crying. Fake crying is something that everybody spots quite quickly and can spot quite easily. She helped her son hide the body of her daughter-in-law. Fake crying is obviously easy to spot if you're having a look at the fact that there are no tears. And we're gonna have a look at another gent by the name of Guava Juice. He's a YouTuber, and we're gonna watch him cry. The trick in order to notice fake crying is to understand real crying, actual heartache.
Goodbye. I love you guys.
You hear that? His voice strained. He could not hold his emotion at all. Listen.
Goodbye. I love you guys. I'm crying. I'm so sad.
Firstly, redness of the eyes. The mucous membranes start releasing a lot of mucus, and they're almost incapable of actually controlling their sniffs. Whereas a fake crier would sniff almost on purpose instead of to try and control something that is out of their control.
Oh man, I love my family so much.
Now, another aspect of real crying is the attempt at self-composure. Especially if they have a tissue in their hand, they will squeeze the tissue. They will try and compose, try and get an element of control over some part of their environment. And that is an important factor when having a look at real crying. Actual emotional stress. Number 2. Dismissiveness. When somebody is telling a lie, it's kind of difficult to keep track of the lie. It's kind of difficult to focus on the lie. This particular gent is being asked about his missing children. Tell me if you guys think he's telling the truth.
Are the kids okay? Can you tell me?
He's shaking his head.
This morning, Chad Daybell breaking his silence to 8.
In order to try and close an interaction as quickly as possible, some people might want to tap you on the shoulder or give you a handshake and just say, thank you very much, bye.
Grateful for any support. We just have to wait for the legal process to work through.
Daybell refusing to answer questions about the whereabouts of his missing stepchildren.
The bodies of his children were found buried in his backyard. While this reporter was speaking to him, he had that knowledge in his mind at that time. Number 3, to force the lie as much as possible. They force the lie into your mind. This is Kenneth Copeland. He's trying to defend his lavish lifestyle, trying to validate why he should take the tithes from his church and spend it on private jets.
We'd just like to ask you about why you don't want to fly commercial. Why have you said that you won't fly commercial? You said
Watch this gent's fake smile.
it's like getting into a tube with a bunch of demons. Why do you think that?
No, listen to me just a second. Not the people. The main reason is because of the need. If I flew commercial, I'd have to stop 65%
That guy has not blinked once.
of what I'm doing. That's really me.
Isn't it true that you want to fly commercial so that you can fly in luxury? How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really none of your business. But,
Isn't it the business of your donors?
listen, I paid.
The thing with psychopaths, now I'm not calling this guy a psychopath, it's just that a sign of a psychopath is a tendency of blinking significantly less. Part of their brain that is involved with regards to prey and being a predator involves similar functions that might impact the way that lions blink and the same way that tigers blink. They blink less in order to make sure that they keep their eyes on their prey. Obsessive controlling of the narrative. A lot of times, liars will want to do their best to keep controlling the narrative. And a very, very common lie is playing the victim card. Let's watch this serial killer, Charles Manson, play the victim card.
It's clear that you were guilty of murder, and yet he says in all his conversations with you, he never heard you express remorse. Have you never felt it?
Remorse for what? You people have done everything in the world to me. Doesn't that give me equal right? I can do anything I want to you people at any time I want to, because that's what you've done to me. If you spit in my face and smack me in the mouth and throw me in solitary confinement for nothing, what do you think's gonna happen when I get out of here? Guilty. I wouldn't do anything that I felt guilty about.
Let's have a look at another example of somebody playing the victim after doing something quite aggressive. This is Tati. A year ago, she made a video making severe allegations against James Charles. In this video, she goes out of her way to explain her actions.
Shortly after, the relationship dissolved entirely, and I was so confused. I bought into the conspiracy theory that what happened was all a social experiment, and that maybe James Charles was even involved, and that there was going to be a big reveal in Shane's docu-series, and that I would be the fool who fell for it. Shane never reached out to check on me.
A lot of body language experts like to have a look at the tension in the shoulders, whether somebody is telling the truth or not. We're going to have a look at Bill Clinton's testimony denying the allegations of his relationship with Monica Lewinsky. Now watch the tension in his shoulders.
Pretty late last night. But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you.
Now let's have a look at where he finally admits to what he has done.
It constituted a critical lapse in judgment and a personal failure on my part, for which I am so...
You see how much more often he's blinking as well. He's much more comfortable with what he is saying. It's also possible to see a few signs of tension, such as a pulse. So with this interview with Prince Andrew, we can tell his pulse by a really, really easy way. I'm going to play the first few seconds, tell me if you see it.
We've come to Buckingham Palace in highly unusual circumstances. Normally, we'd be just...
You see it? Okay, I want to play it again. Just because this one is really cool. You don't have to see it in terms of the neck or the hand or feel it on the person. You can tell it through the simplest little thing.
Come to Buckingham Palace.
You can see it on his bouncing foot.
Circumstances.
So the artery underneath his foot is being jarred off by his knee, which is causing his foot to bounce in terms of his pulse. Pretty cool, eh? In closing, my dudes, the first thing that you need to remember with regards to a lie is that a liar is invested in the lie. If somebody does not care about the lie that they are telling you, it's almost impossible to read it, which is also why it's so hard to read psychopaths. Stay awesome, my dudes. Bye! Yeah, an exploding dog toy. I didn't think you'd believe it either. What a dumbass!